Welcome in. I'm glad you guys are back. I hope you guys had a great vacation, whatever your was in. Dealing with the holidays, and I know a lot of these holidays, some of you may not engulf because of the situation, and we know a lot of our holidays are hijacked and whatever reason. I look at it as time to get together and look and connect with family, and that's really the most important thing of it, is if you're able to do that, not really necessarily the dance of what it is, because we know there's a lot of stuff in there that's we weren't, necessarily told the truth. But welcome back. Had a few days off where you didn't see a video, and some are like, what's going on? And I was like, I went away and see my mother and dad and visited some family and got away for a few days, and we had Thanksgiving over there, the holiday, like my Native American folks, some of them say Thanksgiving. The reality we need through all this relativity of holidays, what are they, hijacked, non-hijacked, aspects of them are true into what season it is, because seasons are portals, right? But just the unity and oneness of trying to build with each other and everybody else. So here's my take. Got a little story to before we get in today's message. I want to share some things. I'm going to share a little bit of like a word of a day, but it's going to be like a correspondence word of a day of two things that are words that are very connected in what they mean. But we have somebody here who watches our videos, has been part of it, and the day before the holiday, if they don't mind me saying, will not say any names at this time, had a stroke. And were unconscious for a few days into touch and go. It really was. It could be touch and go. I was in correspondence actually with his significant other, and she kind of gave me some information and kept me in the loop, because I do know who she is and know her, Kathy. And I don't know why I said her name, but anyways, Kathy, you don't know who Kathy, there's a lot of Kathys, but anyways, I didn't really want to share that, but it's okay. Her got the message that what had happened to him Tuesday, and on Tuesday night he went in, had a stroke, was unresponsive on a breathing apparatus. She's told me breathing machine, so I'm suspecting respiratory. And he was not awake, and he was in a coma for close to 48 hours. He did come out on Friday morning, the day before. He came out of it and woke up. And then through the weekend, he started sitting up and he started eating. He wasn't talking, but he did recognize her, and then did get up and eat on his own, and they took the breathing apparatus out of him. He did not need this anymore. And then by Tuesday, yesterday he was able, I'm recording this on Wednesday, to go home. So we want to thank that he really responded back and bounced out of it. I've known him for a long time. Every road that I would elevate in consciousness, he would connect with it and go to. And a few years ago, he met his really significant other, and they've been together since. And so I'm really just glad for that. We go back a long time, and he does listen to videos here and has been part of the community, and wanted to tell you, everybody, and I will give any more updates if it's needed. But yeah, I was really taken by the situations. I know him very well. I was through this aspect. Call it prayer, call it what you want. I call it just direct sending my energy and contacting him. I was speaking to a soul to awaken. About 12 or 13 years ago, I had this dream, and in the dream, we were in this like river, lake, and we needed to swim across. And I dived in and started swimming, and I took off. I started going. Then I heard him struggling or yelling back, and I looked back, and he was going down in the dream that I had. And I went back, swam back to him, helped him, and then we even went to the side, because I go, here, we can rest at the side where we can grab some brush, and we'll stay near the side, and we'll go across, because there's areas we can grab brush and just kind of rest. Grab the brush, hold it, and rest. And then swim again. And if need be, we can rest, and we'll make it across. And we made it across. And I always wondered what that meant, and I'm wondering if it was this, and I kind of see it as being what he went through. He did go under. If I can call coma kind of being an under, that's kind of heavy. Coma. I have to look up that word, but yeah, and just that's how close I've been to him. We've had these aspects of relationship where I remember that dream. It's like way back in 2013, 14, 12, 13, something like that. Right in there that I had that dream about him, and then he had this. So definitely was touch and go, but he pulled through, and so yeah, that's great news. Thank you. Glad to have you back, Mike. Let's go ahead. We want to get, I'm going to do like a word of a day, and we're going to do like 2 words that are really, really connected in those who have awakened in the process of the world as we see it and what we know. And you hear me say it a lot. We talk about how we have secret societies, and not all secret societies that we have known in the past are all hiding knowledge from the masses. And we can see some stuff that has been labeled that occultic knowledge is evil, right, by this aspect, when we know that occultic knowledge is neither good nor evil. It's how a person with life applies it, because it's hidden knowledge. Do you apply it for control, or do you can try to set people free and give them knowledge how they can help themselves wake up, set themselves free, and grow spiritually and consciously in this world, and what even this world is, right? And even what's the propagation of a lot of things that we're seeing through the archons, the religions. We talk here heavily about esoteric and exoteric, meaning knowing that's a driving force in what things are and are not, and why not. Why is somebody always giving exoteric knowledge, which we've seen given, which is an outside knowledge, which is, it's even said in etymology, it's good for the consumption of the regular, or the masses, where the esoteric is hidden knowledge for them who are in the club. Then I flash back to George Carlin's comedy when he says, you ain't in the club, which goes back to the masses, which you're given exoteric and you really don't know, and all information is dictated and comes from a certain vein that you're supposed to receive and believe and go into, because they believe you're going to receive it, and you won't never question it, as many of the masses don't, until there's a collective or till they have awakening. And somebody will ask the question, well, how do you wake somebody up, or when do they wake up? And it's when they had enough sleep, they wake up. So think about it. It's that simple. When you have enough sleep, you wake up, right? Even in the physical. Sometimes you may sleep along, you may go times of getting not sleep, working and hustling, and then you just, one day it just hits you out once. I go to bed early and you go sleep 10, 12 hours. And then you're refreshed because you needed the rest, right? So when you need to wake up, you wake up. And the 2 words I'm going to get into, I'm going to share, that really support each other, they go hand in hand in this kind of different word of the day. It's not just one word, but we're going to go into it. And here in my way, yeah, you guys don't see it, but it's a little thing above here. And what we're going to do, we're going to start with this word, secret. And the 2 words that we're going to use, we're going to go into and show you how they are really connected to each other. And the word is secret and sacred. Yes, secret and sacred. How these 2 words really are interconnected with each other in this world, and in every aspect of what we're deep diving in, finding the secret, which is sacred, right? Which has been hidden and became secret because it's not been given out to the masses. It's been given to them who are in the club. And those of you who have woken up to this that weren't in the club, you just hijacked your own self. You deprogram yourself and opened yourself up through the awakening to be the revelating and decoding the secret and the sacred message, truths. We keep unfolding ourselves. As we keep unfolding ourselves, we see another reality, another aspect of ourselves that's in a deeper sense of what it is, so, and who we are, right? So let's see what the word secret really means. It's not known or seen or not meant to be known and seen by others. So right away, it totally tells you here that it's purposely usually held from you because it's not meant for you to know or see. And then even in this aspect, it says strictly confidential, top secret, classified, restricted, and confidential. This is kind of what we see when we talk about a secret society. It's really a society of them who have joined, that are part of it, to keep the secret knowledge away, but only been given to them who are part of the secret knowledge. It's definitely strictly confidential for them who are part of it, right? That's why secret societies have always been part of this. Secret societies go back to Egypt. They're not new. A lot of people want to put them as new. They're not new. They're very ancient. And not all of them were meant to be for bad or to control us and to disinformation us and to give us false information, to program us. Many of them were given by them, became secret, was to hide it from those who would do what I just said, perpetrate it, invert it, and hide it. Because this is what's happened in this, and as we see in this time, with many, and here's the reality: you go to the wood, you go to sports, you go to all these places, and you go to politics, politricks. You're going to find out that all of them are definitely connected to secret societies and that have secret knowledge, definitely Masons. And that does not, folks, mean that Masons are evil. It's knowledge misused and misguided, and this is what we have to know. Not everything. There's good people and there's not so good people. There's people that are good people from every walk of life, and there's people who are not so good. And this is the one where you get into the thing of what are you using it for? For your riches, for your power, for your greed, to control people. Everything that's negative aspect of somebody that's not harmonized, really not awake, and not paying the price for what they are doing. They will find a way to do it in a power way into control of others, which is not the way that would be properly used through the front door. And why many times that it was not just freely given, because of this aspect that some people can misuse the energetic energy they would find out for their own use or for their own group's use, for their own power and destruction. So the secret is very confidentially and restricted for not everybody. It's called the secret. But as we know in etymology, when you got a secret, you also got something else. You know what the something else you got? It's sacred. Now let's see what sacred means. Secret, sacred. Remember in etymology, every vowel, here would be secret, sacred, would be the vowel E and the vowel A in their interchangeable connections, but they're connected. So when we see the sacred right here, hallowed, consecrated, made holy by association with divinity, divine things, or by a religious ceremony or sanction, past particle, non-obsolete, verb, sacred, as we can go down and down. I mean, in the meaning of it, it's all put together into an aspect of it's religious. It's of this religious aspect. We know when we wake up that which is sacred is beyond religion. This is the exoteric meaning of it, and where it comes from and what they're saying it means. As we find out, if we did many here, and if you're new here, go back on the website and go back to old word of the days. I've been breaking down words for a number of years, and you'll find out that these words do not mean exactly a lot what you think they mean. Like the word nice means somebody who's ignorant and has no common sense. That's actually what the word nice means. But we call everybody nice who we think is hospitable, who is giving, who's caring. But they're labeled by the word nice as being ignorance and having no common sense, almost being a fool, which we know the person does not carry these attributes. They would carry attributes of kindness, harmonization, and they, mostly, depending on how far they carry, to be very empathetic and very caring, which is a very deep thing, the caring. it goes way deep into the feminine aspect of what caring really means in the deeper senses of consciousness. That's why every year at Bohemian Grove, they do a ritual for the destroying of care. It's for the destroying of the feminine and the absolute, what care is, how that feminine aspect is so caring, which is a connective aspect, right? So we see in the sacred, everything that's holy, everything that's, considered wholesome, consecrated, dedicated, sacred, and stuff. Let's see if we can get it deeper. Are sanctified, right? So we see that this is really what this is. This was hidden. What I'm going to tell you, meaning of the pertaining to, I'm reading now, religion opposed to the 1600s, the objective, the Hindu veneration. Sacred, the Sacred Heart of Jesus is the object of religious veneration. So we see that it's really held here in esteem of a lot of religious stuff, but we know that there's a deeper meaning, because a lot of the things, like when I see the Sacred Heart of Jesus, in that it's about the opening of the heart chakra, and it's always connected to the heart, but also connected to his connection to the feminine aspect, which would be Mary, because it is a feminine aspect. It's a mind. That's why we need to harmonize or integrate our mind and our heart, become one, just like our left and right hemisphere need to become unified. They need to have an aspect of themselves that they're what's the word that I'm looking for? It's escaping me again. Harmonize, harmony. Harmony needs to happen in opposites, because if it doesn't, they'll eventually repel. Unless the two opposites harmonize, then they harmonize, they become one. It's alchemical marriage. They become one. The two become one. So when you really look at sacred from another place, not from the exoteric, from the esoteric, we know a lot of what we're experiencing is very sacred. Awakening, purity, knowledge from a higher state, not a religious state, which connects to the esoteric. The esoteric won't serve you, it hijacks you. This was done purposely. Every government sets up, they'll always set up a religion for always. They always will set up a religion as a right hand for their program to have control and power. If I make you believe certain things, and you buy indoctrination and dogma, you've been programmed to believe certain things. We all went through it, especially if you came through the religious upbringing and the religion and how the religion operates, right? Because that's what the religion does. It operates from that state. Let's do this. Let's put secret in here. So when you see a secret, it's always about being sanctified, confirmed, ordained, sacred, connected to God, right? Sac, it's just there. It's always there. And it's funny that it's there, and it's true, but when you know it in a very more esoteric, many of the things you do are sacred. So, secret. Watch this. That which is hidden from humanity's understanding. I love this in etymology. It gets down. This is telling you it's exoteric, and that's what I wanted to go. This secret and sacred go hand in hand. You can't have the secret without the sacred with it. They go hand in hand. They're peanut butter and jelly. They're steak and lobster, steak and potatoes, right? They're beans and rice. Secret and sacred go hand in hand, and right away in the secret aspect of this, it says which is hidden from human understanding. So it's been hidden from you. It's a secret to humans, but to the inner circle, secret societies, those who are in charge, that we call in charge. And notice the word in charge, or that sentence, 2 words. In charge is something you do when you plug something into electricity. You got to charge your phone. You got to put the charger in, right? Which is hidden from general knowledge. secrecy, mystery. This is where you get a thing hidden, secret conversation. Also, retirement, solitude. You can be secret, set apart, withdrawn, hidden, concealed, private. This is something that's not shared with the whole, but with the chosen ones, from them who say they're chosen. But we know many of the other ones. I personally don't like to use the word chosen no more, because it means other people aren't, and that I'm special. I believe I'm special, but I don't believe I'm special over somebody else. But I also see that some of us wake up before others do, and many of us are more mature than others. And maybe we've been around a lot more around the block, and some could be just new souls having their first, beginning of their beginning journeys, and we're like, they're not getting this. And this is why, on a righteous aspect, you would have secrets, because secrets given to a toddler are destructive. A plug-in wire or a plug-in part of something given to a 2-year-old that's a toddler is probably not they're probably not going to be too good with plugging it in, and they may put it in their mouth and plug it in. So this is the dangers that we could see from them who are immature, and this is why you would keep the secret away. The secret to keep power is so the people don't wake up. And if they don't wake up, they can't call game over. Because if the people really woke up in the multitudes, they wouldn't fall for the They'd say, we see exactly what you are doing, and you're actually the ones laughable. And from what I've watched a lot of a few MK Ultra people get over what they went through in their MK Ultra aspects. And when I watch them, I notice that there's some very key things that they always say. And they always say the perpetrators, when you listen to them talk and communicate, the thing they fear is the people waking up. They don't want the people to wake up, because if they wake up, I'm telling you, game's over. The Monopoly game that's set on your back, when you stand, it falls, and all the Monopoly pieces go flying everywhere, because the Monopoly's over, ran by those who use sacred and secret for their manipulation and that. But it's about the people kind of waking up. And I've learned some really lessons with people through my years that I could apply as wisdom. I cannot make anybody do anything they're not willing to do themselves. No matter if it's the best information, no matter if it's the best advice, I can tell you till I'm blue in my face what to do and how to help yourself. If you're not willing to do it, I have no power over that. I only have power over myself. Nobody can shut my voice down unless I allow it. No, all this stuff right here, what I just said. Now, that can go deeper if you're dealing with something deeper, like, I'm going to say this, we never had a video, witch wound. These are people that went through the brutal burnings and destructions and the torture for being called witches in the 16, 17, 1800s. And it's called a witch wound. And voices were taken away, so they may come here, and that may be the case. But mostly, you could be in a place to even know that, but you're dealing with somebody that's so immature, so doesn't see, that you could not even tell them about witch wound because they're not open. And this is why they would have secrets. And this is, in a good ways, was why you would need a secret society from these knowledge, is to hide it from them who would abuse it, more than hiding it from them who are ready. Because when they were ready, you're willing to help them. But there's a readiness that had to take place to be helped right from the beginning. Just a couple more we'll look at. Again, secret, we went over that. Let's go to sacred in this. See, even if you look at it, connected with God. So it really goes right into the sacred, goes right into the religious aspects. Rites, and we know this to be true, but not religiously, not dogmatically, not under the exoteric falsities and teachings that we've been taught. Even with Christianity, we've been force-fed a Roman Christianity when the first Christianity was Gnostic, which is the truth. That's why we get the demiurge, Yahweh, always wanting to wreak havoc and then sometimes be good. And he kind of chooses when to pick on you, when to abuse you, and when to bless you. And in Gnosticism, that's called the lower realm and not the true one, but the demiurge, the jealous one, the one that's, I'm the jealous God, put no other before me. Because, when I start really opening up and seeing this, I go, do you lack self-esteem? Or how about us always worshiping and praising God? I came out of the Pentecostal church, right? And that was one of the things, you got to praise him. And we did. We get that praising and worship team going. And I'm thinking now what I see is, if you need praise, you got a self-esteem problem? Really? You got a problem with your self-esteem? Are you half-tailing it? Boom. It's a hijacking of your energy. It's worship or warship. You're giving away your energy, and the worship creates the war we keep seeing, because it's a warship. It's connected to a ship. A lot of big things are connected to a ship. Look at this, relationships. Great, every word to add a ship to, I'm trying to think of communications, relationships. Everything, because it's a big vessel. When you're worshiping, it's a big vessel of stealing your cargo, your energy, because any true being in the highest don't lack self-esteem to have to be praised. Because notice, take the P off praise, what do you got? Raise. That's what they call sacred, but that's not sacred. Sacred's your connection to your knowing and who you are and what you are. We should praise and give the children good self-esteem when they're children, because it manifests when they don't as adults or even teens, that they don't have confidence, they don't have reliance. All of us have bits and pieces of this and imperfections from our parents who didn't know a lot of information that you're learning and I'm learning, right? But notice that the sacred is all connected to religion, which I said the religious aspect. Religion means binding. When you bind something, you hold it in a space. You're binding it or not letting it move. That's what religion is. It's binding you. It's not releasing you. It's a binder. And at times you need a binder for food. You need something that binds the two herbs together or the flavors together. But this is binding your soul with misinformation of exoteric dogma indoctrinations. We've been deprogramming from the indoctrinations, which is just not limited to governments in that. It's in the school systems, tattered with it. Our school systems are connected to Prussia. Did you know that? Why? Because the kids were not, and the soldiers were not following the lead of the general because they didn't want to die. So they created a school system that makes you followers, not free thinkers, which is in the 1907 school board meeting if you go read it. It's also a copy of mystery schools because it talks about having degrees, but degrees are inner knowledge of self. Degrees in the true mystery schools is about, degrees also means heat or fire, right? If something's being cooked at a 360 degrees, compare it to a 300 and it has 60 more degrees of heat. All this stuff is copy, and that's why even in your universities, you have to pay what? Tuition. Money to get the education, but really it comes from the real education, which is intuition, which is within you, and you got to pay that too. You know how you pay your intuition? I'll share that with you. Use it and keep using it. Don't doubt it. The more you use it, the more it'll be available to you, because that's how abundance works. The more you have gratitude with your abundance and use it, the more it's coming back to you, because you're using that frequency and energy. You're connected to that frequency and energy of the intuition, not the tuition. Just telling you that a lot of this stuff's copied. So let's look at secret again on this. Look at this on the regular dictionary. Not known or seen, not meant to be seen by others. So right away, and we kind of looked at this already. I think we looked at it here too. Here was really religion. and kind of tells you where it comes from. It's hidden, it's withdrawn, the sacred. And then we see the sacred, and the sacred's really connected to the religion, right? But it's the doctrines and the indoctrination of programs to keep you in the matrix, to keep you separated from not even entering, to even be aware of yourself. It keeps you in the outer court, or aware of your outside, but not knowing that your life and who you are within. That's why Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. And why do you look up here outside of yourself continually for the kingdom of God? And that's what he says, right? In the scripture, that's what it says. Why do you keep looking outside yourself for something that's within you? You're looking in the wrong areas. You're looking in the place. When you know it in here, you'll understand it out there. Because within, without, the same as above is below, the same as within, without, the same as breathe in and breathe out. They go hand in hand together. But anyways, let me get off this, get out of here. All right. So I just wanted to do, that's kind of my word of the day, that correspondence showing how secret and sacred always go hand in hand. How one appears to be, but's not. And then there's the aspect of what it is, which is the real. And that's part of when you're awakening and you have knowledge, or the knowers turned on, which is intuition, your discernment, reading frequencies. I really like this background too. I think I'll keep it for a bit instead of my logo. I like this. We're going to get some real energetic fields out of this, because that's the soul through the North Pole. Yes. Aurora Borealis. Those are all chakra colors mixed, the greens and the blues and the yellows. Boom. Portals are opening for them that leave. And that's a whole different story when we understand we don't have a soul. We are a soul that has a body. We are not a body, I'm going to say this again, with a soul. We are a soul that has a body. You guys, with that, I'll leave you and have a great day.